We'll start the meeting. Call the meeting to order. Any public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to the Planning and Zoning Office report. If there's anything to report about here.
Nope, I just gave you everything that...
Everybody should have a copy of that. If you want to look it over. Just move on from Planning and Zoning Office report to conditional use permit for increase from 10 to 14 dog kennel license for Greg and Tina Salmon. Okay, everybody have any paperwork on that?
I emailed everybody a copy of the minutes from the other night. So I'm...
We approved the kennel ordinance, the license form, when was that? I don't remember.
30th.
The 30th?
June 30th.
June 30th, okay, Clare County Board of Appeals, unanimously, it's nothing too controversial, there's no input from the public on it, it's just an increase in number of dogs allowed. It's,
just by 5, right?
yeah, by 4. Yeah, nothing too controversial, just a small increase. You have anything you want to say?
The only reason that we wanted to a little bit of an increase was a lot of people have to go on and when they bring their 2 little chihuahuas in and put them in one kennel, then sometimes I have a couple open ones over here that people are, and I'm turning the business away. I mean, it's only happened a few times, but I think our clientele will build and it'll happen more often, and I just want to stay compliant.
I guess since we can't make a motion to approve it, we can make a recommendation.
Yeah, we'll make a recommendation.
I think we should recommend that it be approved by the county board. I don't like the kennel ordinance. I think it's a bad thing, the way it's put together, but that's a whole separate issue that
We can tackle another day.
tackle another day, exactly. It's not accomplishing its purpose, or the purpose is infringing on the opportunities for others to do what they want to do. And this may be one example here.
Yeah.
If I would have built in Vermillion County, there is no kennel ordinance at all. Vermillion County.
I didn't know that.
Their Paige Brown is working towards getting a kennel ordinance down there, but right now there's none.
The committee will make a recommendation for approval by the full county board. You don't have to be there, but it never hurts. Be Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday at 9 a.m. That'll be a little later on in the meeting.
Okay,
We'll move on.
thank you.
You're welcome. Move on to a discussion on enforcement of ordinances. Had a phone call with Jim Devine. Him and I had a few minute talk about it. There's not much we can do about it unless we have money to enforce it. But if we want to table this discussion until he can be here, if we can get his input, that'd be fine. Or if there's any discussion, anybody has anything to say about it?
All ordinances, enforcement all ordinances?
Yeah, it'd be just general. It was a general topic.
Well, just like that dog kennel, does anybody ever go out and inspect that? Or?
Once a year, is that how it is? Or?
I'm not sure. Bob said it was, because it was volunteer, that it was between Dr. Youssef, the state, to keep it, checked on or whatever. So there is a copy attached to what I brought that Dr. Shea from Animal Control did go out last week and do another inspection. So now it's been updated again.
Why is the state involved?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. That's just what Bob
Probably.
said at the meeting.
Right, I
I
saw
would
that
imagine
in the
probably.
minutes, that the state had inspected, and I wondered what their
I would
involvement
imagine
is, or...
I would imagine it's for waste disposal. I'm sure that's where they're concerned with. You never know with the state of Illinois.
Well, if and when we tackle the kennel ordinance, I guess that's something we should take a look at, but maybe
Yeah.
even when we're talking about enforcement of ordinances, we should determine which ordinances are involved with the state.
Yeah.
You know, like we have plumbing inspections and so forth, but when it comes to food establishments, the state is the one that has the authority on that. I don't think we have any authority whatsoever on food establishments and plumbing inspections. I might be wrong, but I mean, these are
Yeah.
things that, when it comes to enforcement, probably need to be clarified to some extent, just to know what's under our jurisdiction and what isn't.
That's why I feel it's a good idea to table it until Jim Devine could be here.
That's fine, I don't, you know, I just wanted to make a couple remarks.
She's got a hook in that Illinois Avenue.
It's
Right on the line?
yeah, it's pretty close to the line. Not too far from Wellington.
But it's just, like you said, it's also, it's money, but it gets into all the ordinances that the county has.
Well,
And we talk about it at management.
my opinion on it is, what's the point in having them if we can't enforce them? We run into it a lot, especially with, for example, that issues down in Buckley, that trailer. In fact, that was discussed. But we can write ordinances all day long, but if we can't enforce them, there's no point in it.
And that trailer down in Buckley is interesting because when I unfortunately was involved in that a little bit, but when Mr. Pursley made his comment on that, what he neglected to say is that there's another one, abandoned one just north of his house, about a mile.
Well, how would you enforce that?
Nobody's living in it, but it's abandoned, it's sitting out in the middle of the
Before
field.
you can tear it down, or you'd have to almost own the property, wouldn't you? And who wants to own the property?
Well, this is all part of, with these houses and stuff that we looked at here a few months back too.
And what's ugly and you
They're still
don't
on the,
want, don't mean I don't want.
they're still on the tax rolls, that means that, the county doesn't own them. But how do you enforce, and there may be more of a health department issue than a zoning issue, maybe applies somewhat to both, but we
And
don't,
if you start getting into that, where do you stop at?
that was again where I got in trouble because I wanted to know if the individual wanted to make a donation to help fund, getting rid of them. Well, but I mean, where's the money gonna come from? We don't have it, so.
Things are going to get tight. It's going to get squeezed.
People
in
wanna
the
make a donation, I'm sure we wouldn't turn it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people should, especially board members, before they open their mouth,
I know-
that realize.
I know Charlie Hoff wanted to make a donation, but they wouldn't take his money because it's Confederate.
Well, Charlie's no good. Charlie's got a lot of money. Well, we better not be discussing
Okay.
that to the whole world.
Well, I think it's kind of a dead issue for now.
Okay, we'll table that.
Yeah, and
I'm good with that.
move on to the Regional Planning Commission. We're kind of in the same boat with everything today since we don't have a quorum, but
Is
That's
Devine
another-
giving us any,
I still haven't heard back from him on that either, so
then we can't do anything
Yeah,
with the
can't do much with
subdivision
that either.
ordinance.
we're basically kind of dead in the water today here without Mr. Devine here
No, without a quorum.
and without a quorum.
So we recommend that the claims go to the full board.
Yep.
I don't see anything in the claims to argue about.
No.
You want to argue about any claims? Good.
Well, then it's the full board would have to have a copy of the claims, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do it. That's what they did
Same
last
thing we
month.
did last month.
Is there any old business before the committee? Any new business?
Maybe just discussion about the Pilot Hill Wind Farm.
Yeah, that'd be a good one to discuss. Is in the paper sure as everybody knows, yesterday that they're expanding in Kankakee County, starting in Ford County. They're looking to anyway. I haven't heard back from Joel as to whether or not they want a new road agreement to go through Iroquois County or not. I'm not sure. I know at one point in time, a couple months ago, they inquired about the new ordinance, but I haven't heard anything else from Bob on that, so I would assume they're not interested in expanding in Iroquois County.
Well, I think when Bob told them that they'd have to come in under the ordinance that's existing here right now, they immediately said no, they weren't interested.
Yeah.
That's fine, but I think we should make a recommendation for Joel to
Keep an eye on it.
keep an eye on this thing and maybe monitor whether they're going to be traveling through the county when they make this expansion.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm not sure whether we want to permit them to do that or not, but there ought to be some agreement that there are any either weight restrictions or what have you, that we don't have roads getting damaged,
That was an issue.
roads being blocked that are preventing the
Off-route,
farmers from conducting their business and so forth.
yeah, off-route trucks I know were a real problem when they started, so I would encourage, if there had to be a new road agreement on there, that we increase the fine. I think last time it was, under this last agreement, it was $500, and it just didn't seem to faze them at all, and in fact, that's what held up the building permits. So,
But they can't use the existing road agreement
no,
for this expansion to travel through the county.
now they need a new road agreement. Under a new one, I'd like to see a fine increase,
That's
if they're interested in cutting through Iroquois.
right, but I mean, that's something that if they're going to say, well, we're going to use the existing agreement, we got to already have our ducks in a row and say, no, you can't.
Yeah,
So I would say
more of a matter for highway.
something to talk to Joel about.
Any other new business? Kyle, got anything?
Nope.
Adjournment. Done.
I recommend we adjourn.
Need a second? You want a second?